Are you an SEO beginner? Here are some valuable tips and tricks you can use right now. Welcome to another episode of Just in Day Digital for your weekly dose of marketing tips and tricks. Before we get started, make sure to smash that subscribe button and like that video. Comment SEO below if this video brings you any sort of value. All right, let's jump right into this video. SEO is one of those things that you can never truly learn enough about. It changes periodically, so yesterday's techniques might not be the best ones anymore. That's why there are dedicated career paths on getting the most out of SEO by itself. But if you're not an SEO expert and it's just not the end of the world, just by doing these simple basics, you'll be performing better than anyone who ignores it entirely. So, we're not gonna leave you high and dry. Here are a few tips straight from us on how to get the SEO working in your favor. Titles and metadata are two considerable things that you can't ignore when setting up your website or posting your content. They're the first thing a user sees when finding you on the search engine results. Let's not get too technical, as it's pretty cut and dry regarding its functionality to you, as a person looking for high search engine ranking. A title is the basic description of your content or page. You want it to be relevant. If the title is something like Ice Cream Man, and then your page or content is about cars, your SEO will tank due to how search engines can identify the context. A second thing to consider is if you're targeting a specific keyword in your content or page, try to throw it in the title as well. It helps search engines define whether your keyword you're targeting is better, and you'll rank above those who don't. Metadata is how you talk specifically to search engines. If you load up a search now and view the results, you'll see the metadata. The page title, the description, the date published. When you're working with a web page and not content, search engines can't simply pull the context of the website from the page. They give it a good go, but it won't be correct. It's your job to set it right. There are many content management systems that give you a user-friendly way to do this, but even with some simple HTML code in your header, it's pretty easy to implement. If you're targeting a specific keyword, having that keyword in your meta title and description will help search engines establish what you represent and do. Don't leave it on auto. It's the easiest thing in the world to make your SEO keyword the most generic thing in the world. If you peddle brushes, you'd put brushes, right? Maybe. But consider this. Think about everyone else who sells brushes and has SEO set up on their website. All of them will have used the word brushes as their keyword. This means your website will be combating a ton of other websites for dominance. It's more than likely that the page 1 results for brushes have domain authority due to how long they've been operating and how well they've been practicing SEO, which could be years. You won't have time for that. Trust me. We're not saying that just because a keyword is popular, you shouldn't take it, but if you do, you will have a disgustingly difficult time to rank with it. Instead, using brushes as an example keyword, try to find keywords with less competition. Something like dog brushes or bronzer brushes is a better starting point to tackle. By getting specific with the keyword, you can dominate in a less populated area. Plus, the benefits of this is once you've dominated a few keywords, like the ones above, you're adding to the overall site authority. So, when you're a few years down the line and you're ranking high on multiple keywords, you'll be in a better position to fight for that number 1 spot, brushes, on the first page. Gone are the days when you can fire out thousands of articles crammed with SEO keywords. SEO now punishes you for that. So, what do we do instead? Get yourself an extremely skilled content writer. Hello! What does quality mean in SEO? There are numerous factors to consider now. First, your content has to be relevant to your keyword. Well, obviously. Second, readability. There's no point in making content that people can't be bothered reading. Thirdly, the content has to have context. LSI, latent semantic indexing keywords, are now used to find more keywords related to your SEO keyword. And lastly, backlinks. We'll explain this later on. So, how do you implement quality? There's a lot more that goes into quality, but if that's too much to take in, let me make it simple and clear for you. Make sure the content you make is damn near perfect. You're going to need a writer, a top tier one, to get anywhere. Badly written content is absolutely penalized if it looks like it's been run over with a car. If you're gifted with the keyboard, then certainly have a good go with it. Use tools like SEMrush to know what exactly your content is missing or lacking. If you don't have the gift, or you're just too busy, hire a writer that looks good and that knows what they're talking about. Good writers cost more, so make sure to check the reviews and samples before you spend your hard-earned cash. Internal links are simply linking to relevant content within your site. External links are linking to relevant content outside of your site. Let's dive in. All right. There are two main benefits of internal links. One technical, one for engagement. The technical reason is that internal links give the search engine crawlers a little help hands-on where they want to go to your next site. If the content is about a dog leash and how they're used, there's an internal list about the best dog collars to buy. The crawler will see that it's relevant and index that as well. Simple and easy stuff. Even better if the internal link includes a keyword. Internal links are primarily used for things like call to actions or newsletter sign-up pages. They're still valid though, don't worry. Just letting you know that those also count. Okay, let's talk external links. Now, why in the world would we link to other websites? Well, it shows that you know what you're talking about. In the same way you'd cite references in an academic paper, the quality of your sources makes an impact on your work. Same with SEO. When the search engine bot crawls your content and finds your external link, they'll check the link to see if it's relevant. If the link you're using is top tier regarding its quality, which they'll know as they probably already indexed it, you'll raise your SEO authority. You'd be surprised how much information you can tack onto your images. They're not just pretty pictures anymore. Let's dive right back into some metadata. Similar to how you'd implement metadata for a page or content, you can do the same with an image. Let's take WordPress for example. Before uploading an image to the gallery, you'll see a lot of text boxes alongside it. Alternative text. Voice-to-text readers will use this to describe the image for your blind visitors. Title. Same as naming the page of the title, you can name the image, so search engines can identify it properly. Caption. A tiny little summary for your visitors to better understand the context of your image. Description. Same as the description of a page, helps the search engine get a better context of the image and its relevancy to your content. If the images you're using have all been produced from you or are from your regional location, geotagging carries a ton of benefits for local SEO. You can attract visitors from around your area, not just the entire web. In the simplest of terms, if your images are relevant to your content or page, geotagging them lets the search engines know the location of your operations. They can then show you to people near you. Bear in mind, if you're not targeting your local area, you may not have to go all in on this, as this primarily is for local SEO technique. But if you've got the extra time, why not go the extra mile? You want your images to be as small as possible, without sacrificing quality, of course. Big images take longer to load, reducing your page speed. Bad page speed, bad SEO. That's simple. There are plenty of tools online to reduce the size of your images, but if you can do it manually with software like Photoshop, you'll be able to fine-tune these images to your liking. Aim for 500 kilobits or below as the optimal file size. Now you know the basics of SEO. It's quite a lot, isn't it? This is why most companies have a dedicated SEO department, as there's a lot more to it than just this. But even the basics are time consuming. So, if all of this is making you shudder, contact us today to speak with one of our SEO experts who already knows best practices tailored towards your particular situation. We'll increase your traffic, and more traffic means more profit. Make the investment early and you won't regret a thing. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next one. Later.